The year is 1054. Imagine a world lit by the flickering light of candles, where faith is the foundation of life. Now imagine the unthinkable. The Christian Church, the bedrock of faith, splitting in two. This is the story of the Great Schism, a pivotal moment that reshaped the religious landscape of Europe and beyond. In the heart of Constantinople, in the magnificent Hagia Sophia, tensions boiled over. What began as a theological debate erupted into a complete rupture, leaving behind two branches of Christianity, the Western Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church. The ramifications of this schism were vast and continue to resonate even now, a millennium later. Join us as we travel back in time to unravel the complexities of the Great Schism and explore its lasting impact on Christianity and the world. To truly understand the significance of the Great Schism, we must step back even further in time. The seeds of division were sown long before 1054, rooted in the very structure of the Roman Empire. By the 4th century AD, the Roman Empire, vast and ungovernable, had split into two distinct halves. In the west, Rome remained the seat of power, its legacy steeped in Latin language and culture. The Western Roman Empire faced mounting pressure from migrating Germanic tribes, ultimately leading to its collapse. In the east, a new capital had arisen, Constantinople, a strategically located city at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Here, the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, flourished. Greek language and culture prevailed, reflecting the region's distinct identity. This east-west division within the Roman Empire had a profound impact on the development of Christianity. While both halves shared the same faith, differences in language, culture, and political structures gradually led to diverging expressions of Christianity. At the heart of the theological disputes that fueled the Great Schism lay a seemingly minor difference in the Nicene Creed, the fundamental statement of Christian belief. The controversy revolved around the Filioque clause, a Latin term meaning "and from the Son." The original Nicene Creed, adopted in 325 AD, stated that the Holy Spirit proceeded from the Father. However, the Western Church, in an effort to emphasize the divinity of Christ, added the Filioque clause, so the Creed stated that the Holy Spirit proceeded from the Father and the Son. This seemingly small alteration had profound theological implications. For the Western Church, it underscored the equality of the Father and the Son in the Trinity. However, the Eastern Church viewed this addition as a violation of the original creed and a distortion of the relationship between the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Filioque controversy became a major point of contention between East and West. This seemingly arcane theological dispute reflected deeper differences in understanding the nature of God and the relationship between the divine persons of the Trinity. Theological differences were not the only catalyst for the Great Schism. At the heart of the division also lay a power struggle between the two leading figures of Christendom, the Pope in Rome and the Patriarch of Constantinople. Both claimed to be the rightful leader of the Christian faith, leading to centuries of simmering tension and rivalry. The Pope, as Bishop of Rome, held a position of prestige in the West, bolstered by the legacy of St. Peter, considered the first Pope. The fall of the Western Roman Empire and the rise of independent kingdoms in its wake only strengthened the Pope's hand. In the East, the Patriarch of Constantinople enjoyed a closer relationship with the Byzantine Emperor, who wielded considerable influence over church affairs. The Patriarch viewed himself as the spiritual leader of the East, with equal authority to the Pope, leading to inevitable clashes over jurisdiction, influence, and the very nature of church governance. The year 1054 marked the dramatic culmination of centuries of simmering tensions between East and West. It was in this year that the two branches of Christianity formally split, leaving a rift that would last for centuries. The immediate trigger was a series of events that escalated into a full-blown diplomatic crisis. Pope Leo IX, a staunch advocate of papal primacy, sent his representatives to Constantinople to assert his authority over the Eastern Church. Patriarch Michael Cerularius, equally determined to defend the independence of the Eastern Church, refused to comply. The papal legates, in a dramatic act of defiance, entered the Hagia Sophia during the Divine Liturgy and placed a bull of excommunication on the altar, formally excommunicating the Patriarch and his followers. Cerularius responded in kind, excommunicating the papal legates and condemning the Pope's actions. This mutual excommunication solidified the division between East and West, driving a wedge between the two branches of Christianity that would last for nearly a millennium. The Great Schism of 1054 was not just a religious dispute. It was a battle for control of Christianity. It had far-reaching consequences, shaping the religious, political, and cultural landscapes of Europe and beyond. The most immediate impact was the formal division of Christianity into two distinct branches, the Roman Catholic Church in the West and the Eastern Orthodox Church in the East. This division manifested itself in various aspects of religious life. The two churches developed different liturgical practices, theological interpretations, and artistic traditions. The Western Church adopted Latin as its liturgical language, while the Eastern Church continued to use Greek. Theological differences, such as the Filioque controversy, continued to fuel debate and division. Politically, the schism deepened the divide between East and West. The Pope in Rome emerged as a powerful figure in Western Europe, while the Byzantine Emperor continued to exert influence over the Eastern Church. The Great Schism of 1054 cast a long shadow over history. It solidified the division between Eastern and Western Christianity, shaping the religious, political, and cultural landscape of Europe for centuries. The two branches of Christianity developed distinct identities, each with its own theological interpretations, liturgical practices, and artistic expressions. The West, under the papacy, emerged as a dominant force in medieval Europe, while the East, centered in Constantinople, preserved its own rich traditions and resisted Western influence. The schism also had profound geopolitical consequences. It exacerbated the existing cultural and political divide between East and West, contributing to centuries of mistrust and conflict. Despite numerous attempts at reconciliation over the centuries, the division between East and West persisted. The Great Schism stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of Christian unity. It is a story of theological disputes, power struggles, and cultural clashes that ultimately led to a rupture within Christendom, the effects of which are still felt today. However, it also raises profound questions about the nature of Christian unity and the possibility of reconciliation. While the mutual excommunications were lifted in 1965, significant differences remain between the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox churches. Theological dialogues continue, seeking to bridge the gap on issues such as papal primacy and the Filioque. The Great Schism challenges us to confront the divisions that exist within Christianity and to seek ways to heal the wounds of the past. As we reflect on the legacy of 1054, we are left with an open question. Can a bridge be built across the divide, or will East and West remain separated by the chasm of history?